Hi, my name is Cory Tredwell, and I'm a third-year Bachelor of Commerce student excited to be applying for AIMC. So I believe I'd be a strong fit for the program because I'm naturally curious and I'm driven to understand how and why things work. And this natural curiosity has driven me to pursue real, tangible experiences. So whether this be through one of my two co-ops in accounting, my membership with the UVic Investment Group, or my participation in the CFA Research Challenge. All these experiences have taught me a lot of technical skills, but more importantly, deepened my passion for finance and specifically investing. So why am I interested in investing? Well, I believe investing requires a lot of problem solving and understanding how and why things work. And since I'm naturally a curious person, this challenge really interests me. So what is an example of my work ethic and ability to multitask? Well, this past summer, after coming back from my 6-month exchange abroad in Copenhagen, I immediately began a full-time accounting co-op while balancing a part-time bartending position. This means I was working roughly between 40 to 50 hours every week. This was also around the same time that I began a personal side project where I tried to spend roughly an hour every day learning differing research and valuation techniques for future co-op recruiting. So while this was definitely a super busy schedule, I learned that when I structure my time around what truly matters and I stay organized, I'm capable of managing these competing priorities, and that's the work ethic I intend to bring to AIMC. Moving on to my extracurriculars, one of the most impactful experiences I've had was through the University of Victoria Investment Group. Last year, I had the chance to compete in the 2025 CFA Research Challenge. So as one of 3 second-year students selected, we built a DCF, an equity research report, on Air Canada. And one of my most favorite aspects about this experience was how our team lead, which was Matthew Freytag, how he taught us to build these reports. And that was by the ground up through fundamentals. And that's what he said he learned through AIMC. So overall, this was my first real exposure to finance outside of academics, and it was something I really enjoyed and I wish to continue expanding on. So now on to my stock pitch. So when I was thinking about what stock to pitch, I wanted to find a company that actually would fit into the APMP fund itself. So that led me to read the most recent 2024 annual report, and that's where I found that at the time, the fund was actually a little underweight in Canadian equities. So from there, I also wanted to focus on the 5 core guiding investment philosophies that the fund has. So that's long-term investing, bottom-up analysis, ESG integration, disciplined risk management, and accountability, and sort of find a stock that matched all this criteria. So the company I'm recommending is called Metro Inc. Metro is one of Canada's leading food and pharmacy retailers and has 2 operating segments. The first is the food retail, which accounts for nearly 70% of their revenue, and the other is their pharmacy side, which accounts for the other 30%. So this mix of essential goods and healthcare give it a natural resilience and a strong moat against cyclical downturns. So now on to the industry overview. In the Canadian market, there's 3 main players, and that's Loblaw, Empire, and Metro. And the reason why Metro is my personal pick is that it has the highest operating margins, the strongest governance profile, and it's the least leveraged of the 3, so debt to equity. So what does this mean? This means that the company is not only operating well, it's doing so efficiently with less interest rate risk. Speaking of risks, the market, so the food and retail market, or the food and pharmacy retail market is fiercely competitive. And one great example is the pricing pressure from discount retailers. However, I believe Metro perfectly offsets this risk through their cost discipline, as they consistently rank well above average in their industry for their operating margins and their net profit margins. Now onto the fun stuff, ESG. So in this area, Metro is doing a lot of things right. They source sustainably from 95% of their suppliers, and they plan to transition to 100% recyclable materials, recyclable packaging by 2028. On top of all this, their board has a 40% female representation, and their management has shown a long-term commitment to capital efficiency and accountability, which further boosts their governance score. Lastly, one of my favorite aspects about this business is how they continue to reward their shareholders, and that's through their dividend increases and share buyback program, which both have been consistent over time. Overall, I believe Metro perfectly exemplifies what the APMP looks for in investment, and that's a company that's efficient, well-governed, risk managed, and built to compound over time. On top of all this, I built a DCF on Metro, and I estimate that the intrinsic value per share is roughly $110, which gives the current share price nearly a 20% upside from today. Therefore, I'm recommending a buy on Metro Inc. Anyway, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening, and I hope to hear back from you. Take care, and thank you.